Okay, this is Coach Book 8, Construct Parallel and Perpendicular Lines. Anoki used a compass and a straight edge to construct the figure below. Alright, and it looks to me like we have a line here, and it looks like we were drawing a perpendicular bisector through a particular point here. Okay, now, which construction did he make? Was he copying an angle? Well, if he was copying an angle, we'd have something like this. Okay. Was he copying a line segment? Well, if we were copying a line segment, that would look something like this. We would measure with our compass. We'd put a point here, and we would draw an arc out here with the same measure and try to get a line segment there. Okay, so I don't think that's a choice either. Drawing a line perpendicular to a given line. So what that means is drawing a line that's perpendicular to this line or a given line from a point not on that line. And it really looks like that's what we've done, because it looks like what they've done is taken their compass and put the end at point C and swung an arc around to where it connects to that line twice, like we talked about in class. And that is how we actually find a line perpendicular to another line through a particular point. So it looks like that might be the choice. Now let's take a look at D. Drawing a line parallel to a line from an external point. Well, these two definitely aren't parallel lines. Parallel lines look like that. Okay, so I think our choice is C. Drawing a perpendicular line to a given line from a point not on the line. Okay, a lot of words I know, but this is the kind of stuff that we're going to have to know how to do for the CRCT. Which statement about this diagram is not true? Again, on the CRCT, you're going to see questions like this, which is not true. Okay, so A. Line segment AB is congruent to CD. Line segment AB is congruent to CD. Now that may be a choice. AB congruent to CD. All right, that may actually be a good choice. So let's go ahead and circle that one and take a look. Line segment AE is congruent to BE. AE is congruent to BE. Well, that's actually true. We know that these two, if that's a midpoint, we know that this line segment is equal to that line segment. So since that's true, we can eliminate that one. Angles AEC and BEC are both right angles. Angles AEC and BEC are both right angles. Well, by definition, if we're drawing a perpendicular bisector, both of these angles will be 90 degrees and they'll be right angles. All right, so we can eliminate choice C. And D, angles AED and BED are both right angles. ABD is a right angle, and BED is a right angle. Okay? Again, by definition, a perpendicular bisector is going to indicate that those are right angles. Therefore, that is actually true. And again, we're looking for what's not true, so it's choice A. Point Z is the midpoint of XY. So we know this is dead in the middle. Okay? Dominique wants to draw a line through point A, B, or C. In other words, she wants to draw a line through that. She wants her line to be perpendicular to XY. So in other words, it needs to come down like that, come down like that, and come down like that. Okay? Which point or points could she use? Okay? Well, we just indicated that she could use all these to draw a perpendicular line. Remember, it doesn't say a perpendicular bisector, which is right in the middle. It just says a perpendicular line. And a perpendicular line, by definition, is a 90-degree angle, or a right angle. And all three of those she could use for that. Okay? So, the answer is choice D. Number 4. If Dominique wants to draw the perpendicular bisector of XY, which point could she use? Now again, perpendicular bisector is going to be one right in the middle. It's going to be right in the middle of X and Y. Therefore, she has to use a specific dot, or dots. All right. Point X only. No, that will not make a perpendicular bisector. Okay. Point Y only. Point Y is way over here, and that will not make a perpendicular bisector because the Y is actually the endpoint. Point Z only. And it looks like that may be a viable choice because in order for her to draw a perpendicular bisector, especially if Z is the midpoint, we would want to use that. And let's just take a look. Points X, Y, or Z. Again, points X, Y, or Z. You can use Z, but you can't use X and Y. So that choice is Z, which is C. Cheryl used a compass and a straight edge to construct the figure below. Which construction did she make? All right. Well, I can just tell by looking and from what we've learned in class that we are drawing parallel lines here. And this is something that we've done in class. Okay. We're not copying an angle. We're not copying a line segment. We're not drawing a line perpendicular to a given point on a line. We are, in fact, drawing a line parallel to a line through a point not on the line. And what they're probably asking us to do, they probably gave us something like this right here. And then they said, point N. We want you to make a parallel line, okay, that at some point connects with N, and you would draw yourself a line right there. And we want that parallel line that passed through N as it did here. Therefore, the choice is D. Okay. Number 6, which statement about the diagram is true? Line LM is parallel to OQ. LM is parallel to O and Q? No, I don't think so. Line LM is perpendicular to NQ. No, I don't think so either. In order for it to be perpendicular, it'd have to be straight up and down. Line segment PM is parallel to NR. Line segment PM is parallel to NR. Well, if this whole line is parallel to this one, then that must be the right choice. So let's take a look at that one. And line segment NQ is perpendicular to LO. NQ perpendicular to LO. No, those are basically the same part of the same line. So therefore, that would not be correct. The correct answer is C. Line segment PM is parallel to NQ. Number 7. Which of the following constructions use the figure below to produce 4 90-degree angles? Well, if we wanted to make 4 90-degree angles, the best way to do that is to draw a cross. Okay, that would make this 90 degrees, this 90 degrees, this 90 degrees, and that 90 degrees. All right. Well, it looks like we've either drawn a bisector, or excuse me, not a bisector, but it looks like we've drawn a perpendicular line here. All right, well, let's take a look at our choices. Copy in line segment NP and draw a congruent segment. Well, in order to do that, we would have something similar to this, and that in no way helps us make 4 right angles. Copy RP and draw a congruent segment. Again, we'd have something about like this on the side, and again, that in no way makes us 4 right angles. C, construct a line perpendicular to line NP at point R. Well, that's what we've done. I think that might be a good choice for us. Let's just take a look at D, though. Construct a line parallel to line NP. Well, that would be something like this. Okay? And that, again, no way helps us make 4 right angles. Therefore, we know the choice is C. And finally, number 8. 2 lines intersect at a right angle. Draw yourself a picture. Which best describes these lines? Okay, so sometimes if it says this, just draw it. Okay? Doesn't mean you're not smart. I have to do it all the time, and I'm 35 years old. Okay? Which describes these lines? Are these acute? Well, no. By definition, these are both going to be 90 degrees, and that's not acute. Are these parallel? No. Parallel looks like that. Okay? Skew? No. Perpendicular? Yes. Okay? In our next section, on the next video, we're going to be doing Coach Book 9. We're going to be talking about describing similar figures. More to come.